And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Wednesday. It is March 4th. It is 2026. Hope you're having a good day. Regardless of what I say in the show, we should all, and I mean this, I put in a little missive I put out to the peeps. Many years ago, I used to play paintball with my sons when they were younger. Paintball, you ever play that? And I don't remember which son, but I got pelted pretty darn good, and I had a welt on the side of my hip, the size of like a baseball, and it was ugly, and it was bruised, and I was whining like a baby. Like a baby. I think we have now 6 service men and women dead in this war. While I whined like a baby, they're dodging bombs, missiles, and bullets. I think as we all go through our life, wake up, do what we got to do, send the kids off, get in the car, go to work, do your thing, make what you make, come home, say hi to the wife, sit down at the table, whatever you do, whatever TV you watch. And these people are out there risking their lives, with many dying. We've had throughout the ages dying, giving up their lives for the rest. That's what I was thinking about when I saw that 6 died. I don't know how you feel about this. I don't think we think about it enough. And I've watched Savings Private Ryan. I was told it's an amazing depiction of what happened, except what they don't tell you is it took a lot more than the time they showed to get that all done, because they had to fit it into a movie. Imagine that. I saw another thing the other day. Do you know when they used to do the draft? Imagine you're 18. I think you had to be 18, right? And they're picking your birthday out on TV, whether you're going to go to war or not. The luck of the draw on whether you're going to head to Vietnam, or was it Korea? I don't know. But how many of our warriors died in these wars? And now we got another one. To what extent, we don't know. The Secretary of, it's the Secretary of War now, whatever, says everything's going great this morning. He first says we mourn our loss, but everything's going great. I got news for you. Everything ain't going great when we lose one of our men and women in uniform. That's what I was thinking about today. So no matter what we talk about, that's what I was thinking about today. The 100-year-old at the State of the Union that got the Medal of Honor, I was thinking about that today. Put himself in harm's way, saved a bunch of people. That's what I was thinking about today. But anyway, before we start, the other thing I'm thinking about away from that is oil prices. Regardless of what I tell you that happened in the market today, oil prices, which had come down some, finished higher on the day, and remain quite elevated. I'm not sure. That's good news. But we have hope. The market did well today. Could have been better. Could have been worse. But oil prices were up today. The news is fluid out of the Middle East. Personally, I don't trust a word from what comes from D.C. I have other avenues that I use because they're going to paint the greatest picture no matter what. And I hope they are correct. And I wish nothing but success, that we get the hell out of there, we get the job done. But I'm not so sure that's going to happen tomorrow. I set my alarm right now at night till 2 a.m. I fall back to sleep easily, just to see what's happening over there. Because it's now nighttime, and I want to see what the outcomes are, because a lot of things happen at night. Oil prices, I did not like the finish today, but the market had a good day. Could have been worse, could have been better. But after what we have seen, we'll take it. This is Investor's Edge, a serious talk on everything that affects you, more now than ever. We will talk the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the Middle East, tariffs. I'm actually going to do that for 2 minutes today because something came up. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com, also on our X feed. You should follow us on X. Go ahead and do that. By the way, there is a sick woman on X named Candace Owens that has 7.5 million followers. I got 35,000. And she's now blaming Israel for 9/11. Yet she has 7.5 million followers. The world is upside down, kids. If you'd like to email us, just be nice and respectful. We'll be respectful back. We'll, on top of the X feed, we'll post it on the YouTube channel and BizTV and other podcast apps. Okay, final numbers. Dow up 238, S&P 52, NASDAQ 290, NASDAQ 100 373, Russell 2029, the SOX up 150. Transports for a change did not lead today, only up 26, but advanced declines pretty darn good. New yearly highs, hardly any, and that's because you've had some serious damage done over the last few days. You had bounce in the foreign markets also, which would be normal. But a few things sticking out today that I'd like you to know about. Number one, we had told you that we thought that software that had been bombed, crypto that has been destroyed, were looking like they were trying to turn the corner. Well, crypto broke above That first stair step as it turned the corner today had a really good day. Software did the same. But favored name Microsoft, which was up 6, only finished up like 1 and change. For software to really go, you got to think Microsoft's got to be a part of that equation. Up next, one by one, we'll go through what we see and what we think and all that. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. You know what I'm happy to see? Cracker Barrel beat estimates very nicely. I'll have to look it over, but I want to see them succeed. I hate seeing failure. Get no joy in failure. Beat by a mile, actually, and the stock is up decently in the aftermarket. But comp sales down 7.1%. Revenues fell 8%. But they beat by a lot. Stock closed at 30.60. I got it at 33.33 in that aftermarket. Okay. Okie dokie. So we started out by saying software better. CrowdStrike was up 15 on their earnings, was down 10 in the morning. Other software stocks had a good day. We'll see if that continues. Just remember, these are recovery moves. They are not bull market moves. As I said to the peeps today, we think a low is occurring. We do not know if the low is occurring. We will only know with a few more cards coming out of the deck in time. What else? You had a bounce today in financials. I'll call that a no biggie. They don't look great. The private equity and credit stuff, ew. Very stretched, extended, oversold, and probably will bounce. We've seen some insider buying in things like KKR, but we're still wary because you want financials to do well. And not only are financials not doing well, but some of them have just been plain busted up. And I mean big time. A few other things of notice today. As you know, we have talked to you incessantly about how the big indices are really influenced by a select few names. We're just letting you know some of those select few names today outperformed for a change. Amazon has been terrible. And I mean terrible. Amazon stock, believe it or not, is trading. Boy, I didn't even realize this. Let's see. November of 24. And is still down about 15% from the highs of last October. Yeah, that's about right. Amazon today, maybe, not 100% sure, may have turned the corner. We'll see. But that's a big name. Meta, big name. May have. There was very little volume on Meta's move, so I don't know if I'm excited with this one, but may have. Tesla. Somebody else was out today saying Tesla's the name to own because of robo this and robo that. Okay. It's certainly not the selling of cars right now, but somebody was out today, and Tesla was up 13. That helped. So the NASDAQ 100 and NASDAQ had a pretty darn good day today. And you had a little bit, well, Microsoft was better. NVIDIA was up 3, was up better before that. We'll see what tomorrow brings. The NASDAQ 100, and S&P are still 4+ month tight trading ranges. Look like they were going to break down the last couple of days, held, reversed, and is back in those ranges. Just letting you know. By the way, on Tesla, all this talk, here's a headline. Tesla had 5 new robo-taxi crashes in Austin, Texas, bringing the total to 14. But you gotta buy Tesla because of robo-taxis. All right, we'll see. I'm all for it. So you had a good day there. Semis had a good day, though that could have been better, but the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, as well as some names, bounced off the 50-day moving average today. That's a help. We'll see what comes of it. The rest, a lot of mush. Just a lot of mush. My left screen of lesser tech had a better day. They have been so far down and blasted. They're in bounce mode. Good to see a little bit of that. But as I stated from the outset, not thrilled that oil prices finished on the strong side today. We'll see what happens overnight. How's that? Gold. Anemic bounce compared to yesterday's drop. Yesterday, I think the GLD dropped like $22. It was up 3 and change. Silver hit hard yesterday, was hardly up. We repeat, gold is much stronger than silver. And arguably, or not, that silver move looks like classic climactic move. That's going to be very tough. Gold a little less so. The gold miners have been strong. They got hit yesterday. But the gold miners still on the elevated side. What else can I tell you? Housing related, remain very weak and pretty much avoids. Payroll companies avoids. A lot of the retail avoids. The cruise lines and the airlines are now avoids because of oil prices. Cruise lines really getting hit now. I would suggest hotels I'd be wary about and other travel. Oil. Up next. Got some tidbits for you. Back and forth. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I was asked by somebody if I chew gum while I do the show. No. But in the last 2 days I have lozenges in because under the weather. By the way, my wife no longer has pneumonia. Got checked out. Very good. Tidbits. Tariffs. Well, as you know, the president lies about it all the time, that tariffs are paid by the country. Amazingly, in the State of the Union, he lied about it. I can't tell you how much that annoys me. Well, I just want to let you know I had lunch with some college buddies this weekend, and one of them has a pretty good business. I'm not going to tell you his name or what the business is. What he did tell me is they pay $900,000 above what they would normally not pay if not for the Trump tariffs. Just letting you know. Oh, why don't he just produces the product here? Great. Just letting you know he paid $900,000, and all these businesses hire somebody to now go and collect it. And that's what they're in the midst of doing now because of what happened with the Supreme Court. Speaking of tariffs, here I have the Orlando Sentinel. Downtown Orlando's West Court Sports District delayed due to the economic uncertainty surrounding U.S. tariffs. So we're just letting you know. And I can't tell you how much it nauseates me, how, because they have to, I almost can't blame them, all the miscreants in D.C. lining up behind the president, supposed conservative Republicans, all of a sudden love higher taxes on the business and consumers of this country. It pisses me off. But I understand they have no choice. Because if they argue with the president, they are excommunicated. If they take him on, they're now rhinos. As we have stated, Trump ain't no conservative Republican. He's not conservative. He's not Republican. He's a socialist, controlling interventionist, and a raiser of taxes. But he lowered taxes on, yeah, he did. So they cancel each other out, right? Tidbits. Well, I mentioned the Tesla, right? Tidbits. Just want to let you know the world's oil transit choke points. Strait of Malacca. Have no idea what that is. 23.7 million. This is how barrels of oil. Strait of Hormuz, 20.9 billion. The Suez Canal, 8.8. And notice how quickly it goes down. And that's why we follow the Strait of Hormuz. China is reportedly pressuring Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. There's only one problem. Iran does not close it and did not close it. In reality, several London-based insurers pulled war risk coverage, effectively halting much of the shipping traffic through the strait. China may have leverage over Tehran because it buys roughly 80% of Iran's seaborne oil, but it has no leverage over Lloyd's of London and the rest. So the president has come out as looking to, from here, do something about that insurance. I don't know what that outcome is. Tidbits. A New York Times analysis of poly markets since June found that it was unusual to bet a significant sum that a U.S. strike would happen the next day. But on Friday, 150-plus accounts bet at least 1 million predicting a U.S. strike on Iran by Saturday. Insider trading, ladies and gentlemen. People should go to jail, but they won't. Tidbits. Just want to let you know Stanley Druckenmiller, one of the greatest hedge fund managers of all time, is betting big on Brazil, the equal weight S&P 500 versus the regular. He sold out of Meta, SanDisk, ARM. Google, Alphabet. Just let you know they're ramping up efforts to expand adoption of its own AI chips and compete with NVIDIA. I actually believe this is one of the reasons NVIDIA can't go anywhere to the upside. A lot of competition out there, kids. Block. Used to be called Squared. Tidbit. just fired 4,000 people. Nearly half the company gone in a single day. The reason Jack Dorsey gave? AI can do their jobs now. But you know what nobody's talking about? 200 days ago, the company threw a party. Not a regular party. A 3-day festival in Oakland with Jay-Z, T-Pain, Soulja Boy on stage. 8,000 employees flew in from around the world. The bill was only $68 million. This showed up on their earnings as general administrative expenses. 200 days later, from 10,000 employees to under 6,000. They suck. Tidbits. You ready for this one? On August 31st, 2020, ExxonMobil was kicked out of the Dow. It was replaced by Salesforce.com. Since, Exxon is up 271%. Salesforce is down 32%. How about that for a tidbit? President Trump, unfortunately, tidbit lies again. Came out and said he lowered the trade deficit by over 70%. During the first 11 months, the trade deficit was $840 billion, and it was up 4% from $807 billion during the same months of 2024. Got to call him on it. Tidbits. Apple has bought back $727 billion of stock over the past 10 years. That is greater than the market cap of 488 companies in the S&P 500. That is unbelievable. You hear the banging? They're still on the roof. Tidbits. Just let you know that dollar shorts, people that are betting on the downside, are at a 14-year extreme. Typically, when you have extremes like that, whatever the entity is, goes the other way. The dollar has been rallying recently off the war. I do not know if that's going to continue, but I will tell you the dollar shorts got burned in the last few days. Tidbits. It currently costs $84,000 to mine a Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 70 some odd thousand. Up today. Nicely. So anybody mining is losing money. Tidbits. Emerging markets, just let you know, got hit pretty hard off of what is happening in the Middle East. Just let you know, the EEM, the emerging market ETF, is still a little bit above the big 18-year breakout that recently occurred. We're paying attention to that. Symbol again, EEM. We are not saying to buy, sell, short, or cover. Just stating a tidbit. Up next. This, that, and the other thing. That's a lot of tidbits, huh? You know, I've been asked, I don't know why, to comment on how I think this war is going to go. Hell if I know. What I do is follow trends. If the reporting is right, the ability of Iran to attack, if it was a stock chart, would be going from the upper left side to the lower right side. Just letting you know. But, of course, that is one hell of a variable because we don't know what they have left. The president thinks they are done. They're out saying they have destroyed their Navy. We've taken this out. We've taken that out. We can only hope. The only thing I've been thinking about, and I said it yesterday, it feels like Iran has said, screw it. And of course, there's another word for screw. We're just going to hit them all. They actually sent a missile to Turkey, which is part of NATO and has been a partner of Iran. So, beats the hell out of me what they are thinking to hit every Middle Eastern country. Nobody ever said these people are smart. But man, one would think they enjoy breathing. And they've got to know that the hammer's going to keep coming down. At least I thought so. If I was a guessing man, I think the end of the happens sooner than what they're saying, 4 or 5 weeks, if what the president's saying is true, and that is they're almost done. But I don't know. Just letting you know at the close of business today, oil prices were rallying again. And I don't want to see that. That's bad news. Because I can promise you, if oil prices stick, that is going to be a big problem for the economy. That just had 1.4% GDP and has been working off of much lower oil prices. I believe we just saw oil prices go from $2.90 to $3.19 average in like a nanosecond. And I always get asked, hey, Gar, why the hell do oil prices, when they go down slowly, but when they go up quickly? Good question, ladies and gentlemen. I gather you can formulate an answer that makes sense. They tell us it's because, well, you know, you still have all this oil. Come on. Don't have a great edge here on the markets because I can tell you, 2 days ago, we were down 800, finished really well. NASDAQ finished up, and typically I would say to you, well, that typically means institutions defended, and now we're going to get upside testing. Well, the next day we opened down 1,200, 300 points, and then only finished down 400. So I would say to you again yesterday, typically, normally, we would get upside testing. Well, we got a little bit of that today. But I have no clue on a day-to-day basis here. Just hoping to get some big trends coming out of this. And the things that have held well, the semis off the 50-day, the transports, those optical data, memory, storage names, though they got hit hard and are still way below the highs, but you can still tell they've got a better bid. Companies that have had good reactions to earnings are sticking the landing. But I have to tell you, financials to the side, housing to the side, a lot of medicals to the side. Retail, I can tell you that Five Below acts well. Ross Stores, Gap's up. Tapestry, TJ Maxx act was well. And then I'll tell you, Abercrombie and Fish looks like a nightmare. Pool Inc. has been destroyed. Dollar General reports tomorrow acting well, but Dollar Tree is broken down. What does that tell you? Mixed bag city. AI names, mixed bag. Spenders not good, receivers good. Of course, that can change. Economically sensitive, I can pick out one that's strong and another one that's crashed. So, tough go right now. We hope to just get a semblance of order. That's what we're looking for. I don't think it's going to happen in a day. The one thing that's good news is the attempted breakdown, the rolling over the big indices, which was occurring, reversed very well yesterday. And we're back in that range that has been going on for 4+ months. And I have to tell you, we'll take that for starters. Tomorrow's another day. You'll have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well, be well. I'll be in New York City tomorrow doing the show. Have a good night. Bye-bye.